You have a 401k and some savings for future retirement, but don't even know if it's enough to live off of? How much is enough? How often are you thinking about it? The team at JPEX Financial Group can help set your mind at ease. We specialize in creating strategies in the planning and managing of your financial, educational, and investment needs. We help clients pursue their investment goals with sound financial strategies. You deserve a personal, tailored plan. Lasting, meaningful, and open relationships are the foundation of our practice. You've worked hard for your money and should feel confident in your investment choices as you make decisions for your financial future. Your goals are our goals. We are dedicated to your needs and hopes for your future. Visit our website and give us a call at 860-430-5397. Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Raymond James Financial Services Advisors, Inc. JPEX Financial Group, LLC is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services. JPEX Financial Group is located at 78 Eastern Boulevard, Glastonbury, Connecticut.
Clovercrest Media Group presents a CMG podcast, Keys to the City.
Keys to the city, baby. When you see us, so you know.
Crossed up by Kobe, little floater to Shaq, and then Shaq goes like this, and the rest is history. Pay attention. Don't tell me what to do, devil woman. But speaking of those Lakers, hold on. But I didn't make my. I said Denver's gonna win. Yeah, you did. You said that. There's no other show like that. Clovercrest is doing great things right now.
Streaming everywhere.
Jones on first down, wide open, it's Barkley. And Saquon Barkley will take it into the end zone.
Your best ability is availability. Saquon Barkley, he's great when he's on the field, but the problem is since 2018, he hasn't been healthy for this team.
Look at this. They lob it to him. He taps it in off the glass. How about that?
Porter Moser, I think right now is the best coach in college basketball, hands down.
Fins 2 for 3. He's done his part.
Pitch is drilled to deep right field toward the pole, and it is gone.
They don't mind not being what they were in the 90s as the best organization in baseball, because the Yankees aren't even close to the best organization in baseball.
You're trying to be the Rays, and the Rays do this for a reason. Like, you're the Yankees.
Welcome to Sports Talk with R&J. I'm Steve Risser, along here with Justin D'Onofrio, and we are here. It is Super Bowl week, Super Bowl 56 at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. We got the Rams, who are they're not going to be the home team of the Super Bowl, but they are pretty much hosting the Super Bowl because it's in LA. And then you got the Cincinnati Bengals. A lot of us expected the Rams to get here, especially with some of the moves they made. It started last offseason, going out and trading for Matthew Stafford. And then during the year, they go out and trade for Von Miller. They go out and trade for OBJ. A lot of people expected the Rams to get here, but no one expected the Bengals to get here. And obviously the biggest reason why the Bengals are here is because of the play of their quarterback, Joe Burrow. This guy is fazed by nothing. Nothing bothers this guy. I mean, he got sacked 9 times against the Titans. It didn't matter. The Bengals won. He threw a bad interception against the Chiefs. It didn't matter. He drove him right back down the field, got the game-winning field goal. The defense gave up a game-tying field goal, but then Joe Burrow drove the Bengals down the field for the game-winning field goal. And he got to the Super Bowl. So nothing phases Joe Burrow. Another reason why the Bengals are here, obviously Jamar Chase was a great pick at number 5. It was an outstanding pick. A lot of controversy. Were they going to take Penei Sewell or were they going to take Jamar Chase? They proved to everybody Jamar Chase was the right pick, and the improvement on the defense. They hit on their free agents. Trey Henderson was a great pickup for this defense. They also drafted Logan Wilson in the second round a couple of years ago, and they also got Jesse Bates. So it should be a really good game between these two teams. The way I see this game going, I think, I think for the Rams, I think the Rams are going to have success on offense in this game. And I do think they're going to have success on the ground. I do think Cam Akers and Sony Michel, they're going to have success on the ground. I feel like that the Bengals are going to play too high. They're going to, they're going to have 6 guys in the box, allow the Rams to run the ball. I think the Bengals focus is going to be on Cooper Kupp, doubling him and paying attention to OBJ as well. So I do think the Rams are going to have success moving the football in this game, and I do think their defense is going to force a turnover from Joe Burrow. But that doesn't mean I think Joe Burrow is not going to play well. I think he's going to have a really good game. I think Joe Mixon's going to have a really good game, not in the running game, but in the passing game. I think he's going to have over 50, at least over 60 yards receiving. I think that's going to be the key to the Bengals offense, getting the ball to Joe Burrow's hands quick. I think they're going to do that in this game. I think it's going to come right down to the end, but I'm going to take the Rams to win this one close. I got the Rams beating the Bengals to win their first Super Bowl since 1999. I got the Rams beating the Bengals 30-24. But Justin, can Joe Burrow be the first player to win a Heisman Trophy, a national championship, and a Super Bowl?
What a accomplishment that would be if he's able to do it. I don't think he will. I have the Rams win this game 27-23. I think he'll keep him in it. I think he's going to, I think he's going to play well. I think he'll keep the Bengals in it. But I think the Rams, with everything they've given up this, in the season, all the draft picks they've given up, to get to this far and not be able to do it, not be able to get over the hump again. I think this is the year they finally, Los Angeles finally does it. Sean McVay gets his first ever Super Bowl win, and I think the Rams find a way in their home stadium to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a great game between the two teams. I mean, the two quarterbacks. I mean, I would take Burrow over Stafford, but Stafford has the better weapons in the game. But yeah, it should be a really, really good game between these two teams. Here's the one question. I think one of the biggest storylines going to the game is Matthew Stafford a Hall of Famer if the Rams win the Super Bowl? I got to say yes, because I think his numbers are there. He played in one of the worst organizations. I know he had Calvin Johnson and Ndamukong Suh in their primes for the first 4 years, but he played in a really bad organization for a long time and put up really good numbers. Got them to the playoffs 3 times, didn't win a playoff game. But if he wins the Super Bowl, I think he is, because of how crucial Matthew Stafford was on this run. He made that big play to Cooper Kupp in the divisional round of the playoffs. He brought them back from 10 down against the Niners in the NFC Championship game. And if he wins this, I feel like he should be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I think he should too. He played for such a bad organization, and yeah, it helped that he had Calvin Johnson, who's one of the best wide receivers that we've seen, and unfortunately, obviously they didn't have a full career, but he was unbelievable, and I know he was 0-3 in Detroit in the playoffs, but yeah, his numbers are all pretty good for an organization that did not really help him out much at all, throughout his career. And, I think he's done enough. If he's won the Super Bowl, he'll be 4-3 now in the playoffs. And if you look at his numbers too, they're pretty similar to Rodgers. Like, he's 11th all time in pass completions. Rodgers is 10th. Stafford's 12th in passing yards all time. Rodgers is 10th. Stafford is 4th all time in passing yards per game. Rodgers is 12th, and then passing touchdowns, Matthew Stafford's 12th, Aaron Rodgers 5th, and then Stafford has 42 winning drives, which is 7th all time. Rodgers only has 27, but again, he's played on a very good Packers team, which is 27. But like, all their numbers are pretty similar, so it's like he'll have the one Super Bowl too, like Rodgers does. So I gotta put him because of the numbers, like Rodgers, and we all know that Aaron Rodgers is gonna be a Hall of Famer. I think Stafford does as well. Again, like what would have happened if you throw Stafford on those Packers teams? Does he win another? Does he win a couple more than Rodgers? Who knows? But I think with those numbers, again, it helped that he had Calvin Johnson, but I think he should be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I agree. I think he definitely should be a Hall of Famer. I mean, I'm happy he got out of Detroit. And you saw what he could do once he left Detroit. He was able to get the Rams to the Super Bowl, and he's got a very good chance to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely, he does. And, he's got the right team. He's got a lot of pieces around him. He's got great weapons, and OBJ was a great pickup. And, Cooper Kupp's who had an MVP-type year. Got a good running back in Shoney Michel. Cam Akers is back. Yeah, and the defense is nasty. So, yeah, this is obviously the best team he's been on in his NFL career, and he's flourished with this Rams team. And, yeah, I'm happy that he did get out of Detroit in that horrible situation up there. And he's taken the most of it, and it's been great. And he's had a phenomenal career, and he's got a chance to get his first Super Bowl.
Absolutely. So let's get into the game now. Let's start breaking this game down. We're going to start with the first thing we're going to start with is how does this is kind of the big matchup in this game. How does the Rams defense attack the Bengals offense? And the big matchup everybody's talking about is Jamar Chase on Jalen Ramsey. Here's another comment. Is Stafford a Hall of Famer if he doesn't win the Super Bowl? No, absolutely not. There is no way that Matthew Stafford is a Hall of Famer if he doesn't win the game at this point in his career. There's no way he's a Hall of Famer. And the reason for that is The reason why he's not a Hall of Famer is he was good. He was really good in Detroit, but he didn't win a playoff game in Detroit. Then he comes to the Rams and has a really good team around him and doesn't win. And in a game that he's favored in, not a chance. Matthew Stafford's a Hall of Famer if he doesn't win this game.
Yeah, I think I have to put him in there because of the numbers. I'm like, he's so familiar to Aaron Rodgers and the numbers that I think if you say, and I know, and I know the Super Bowl is a big part of it, of having that Super Bowl victory. And I think he gets it, he'll get in. And I think maybe it's maybe this is his really one shot with the Rams have given up. I think, he could sneak in there. I just think with the numbers that are just so similar to Rodgers, he'll get in. But yeah, that 0 Super Bowls there next to his name is going to hurt. And he's still only 3-4 in the playoffs. I think those numbers are going to hurt. But, and I know those numbers are kind of skewed because Detroit always losing. He's throwing the ball a lot. But I thought he's pretty good. I'm like on the fence about it. With the numbers, just comparing the numbers with him and Rodgers, I think I would have to put him in. I think you'd say you're putting Rodgers in. I think you have to put Stafford in. I know Rodgers is a totally different quarterback with the athleticism. But
no, I just think there's no way, in my opinion. There's just zero way. There's no way you can put Matthew Stafford in the Hall of Fame. He doesn't win this game. If he loses to
I can see your
he had
point.
the better team. He had the better team in the Super Bowl, and he loses. So, to me, he's got to win this game to be a Hall of Famer. I think that this is going to be the determining factor. If he wins, he's in. If he loses, he's not in. At this point, because he could win the next year maybe and get in.
Yeah, no, and I totally see your point. Yeah, they're a better team. They're playing a Bengals team that's been a Cinderella story to this point. A team I thought was going to win only 5 or 6 games this year. Yeah, it's been a great story. Again, I see your point. He hasn't won the Super Bowl. This is, his first opportunity here. Yeah, he's got the better team around him. He's got one of the best teams in the NFL. He's been able to get them over that hump this year. It's been he's just a guy like I envisioned. If he had any opportunity, early in his career to go somewhere else, I think we would be calling him a Hall of Famer. And I know Detroit hasn't helped him at all, but again, I just go back to numbers. They're just so similar. I just think, I know the Super Bowl makes a huge difference. I think he I think I'd put him in maybe, not obviously first, second, or third. Like I'd put him maybe towards the end of kind of his, final few years on the ballot. He sneaks in there.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I just don't think you can put him in if he doesn't win. Because even in Detroit, he had to get an opportunity when he had Calvin and Ndamukong in his prime, and he blew that playoff game against the Cowboys. So I just it's an interesting debate. I think it's more likely than not if he wins, yes, but it is debatable. But I think it's more likely no if he loses.
What was that? Sorry, you broke up there for a second.
Oh yeah, but I think it's more. I think if he loses, it's more likely that he's not going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I could totally see your point. I see time. Marino made it without with the numbers only one trip. Yeah, I know back then it's a totally different era, but Marino's a pretty good quarterback as well. Yeah, I think it's difficult for him if he doesn't win it. I think he should get it if he still doesn't win it. Again, yeah, he may have another opportunity down the road. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. And I see your point of, he hasn't been there. Detroit did have some talent with the guy Ndamukong, Calvin Johnson. They did blow that playoff game. Again, what could have been if Calvin was, didn't have the injury history. But I totally see your point of not getting him in because, just didn't have a ton of playoff experience. I put a lot on the lines. I just wonder if he played for another organization, how things would have been different for him.
Yeah, that's a good point. But going back to Hector's point, he says Marino made it with the numbers and only one trip to the Super Bowl. I feel like that was a different league in those days, though. That was a non-salary cap league. If Stafford loses this, Marino has never had a team in his career as good as the team Stafford has this year with the Rams. He's never had a team that good. I just think this and I think because even in the Super Bowl Marino made it to, he was facing the Niners. He was facing Joe Montana and Bill Walsh, Ronnie Lott. That team was nasty. He was facing it with the team of the 80s in the Super Bowl. So if Stafford loses to the Bengals with a really good roster, I can't put him in.
Yeah, I see your point. Yeah, I know Marino. Yeah, Marino, Dolphins teams. weren't great. I know they got the one Super Bowl. It is a different league. I see your point. Yeah, I like with the Lions again. I know those numbers could be skewed because the Lions were always losing, and he was always trailing in those games, and he had such a talented wide receiver that again the Lions were always throwing the ball. So I do see your point, and those numbers could be skewed a bit, which could kind of help not help his cause. But yeah, I'm on the fence about it. I think he probably still deserves to get in, but I totally see your point. He's got such a talented roster. It is the best team he's got to be on. Again, he's got to get it done, and on Sunday.
Absolutely.
Really secure his bid.
Oh, absolutely, without question. But let's get back into the game. And first, obviously, the biggest matchup in this game is obviously going to be Jalen Ramsey on Jamar Chase. How does this Bengals offense attack? How does this Rams defense attack this Bengals offense? I feel like for the Rams, they're not going to. I don't think Chase is going to shadow. Ramsey going to shadow Jamar Chase the entire game. I don't think that's going to happen. But what I do think is going to happen is I think it's going to be a mixture of Ramsey being on him being doubled during the game. That's definitely going to be the Rams' main priority is containing Jamar Chase and maybe taking their chances with Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, and CJ Uzomah. Let those guys beat him. I think that's the biggest thing the Rams are going to do on defense is they are going to try to contain Jamar Chase.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. And you saw the second half of the Chiefs game. They stopped doubling because they doubled him most of that first half. The second half, he kind of got open. He was able to, he was one-on-one coverage, and Joe Burrow was able to get to him. That's the only problem. Because you're right, they're probably going to have the two safeties deep. So, yeah, I think that safety is kind of going to be back there kind of shadowing at times as well. But, yeah, I think it's Jamar Chase. If you could kind of slow him down, and, they do have a lot of weapons. They do have Boyd. They have Higgins. They have Mixon. So, make one of those other guys beat you. Again, I think as well as you said earlier too, I think he's got to get rid of the ball quickly in this game. Now I know, with that pass rush, because Floyd, Von Miller, and Aaron Donald have 5.5 sacks so far in the playoffs. The team has, I believe, 7 or 8. So look, can he stay under cool too? Like with an Aaron Donald coming right at your face, like it's first time he's facing Donald. That guy's a different animal than So it'll be interesting to see what he can, facing Donald for the first time. If he can kind of get in his face, bat down some balls. But yeah, I think it's getting the ball out quickly. And can somebody else step around Chase? Because if not, because if he's on one-on-one coverage, again, with Burrow's accuracy, he's going to throw it right where he needs to be. And Chase more than likely is going to come down with that football.
And we saw in the second half when, for the most of that game, Ramsey was shadowing Evans. Evans got the better of him in that second half. He had that long touchdown. So, I think it's going to be a mix. They're going to mix. They're going to mix it up. They're going to, play some, double him a little, play some zone, double him a little bit, have Ramsey on him. So I think they're going to mix it up. I don't think it's going to be Jalen Ramsey shadowing him the whole game. I know that's what people want to see, but I don't think it's in the Rams' best interest to have Jalen Ramsey shadowing Jamar Chase the entire game. And to lead to my next point, and you talked about this. You just talked about this for how the Bengals offense is going to attack the Rams defense. I think it is so crucial for Joe Burrow to be able to get rid of the ball quick. That screen game to Samaje Perine and Joe Mixon, they got to do that a lot because the Rams linebackers are not great. This is the weakness of that defense is their linebackers. Troy Reedus and Ernest Jones. That's the weakness of this defense. You saw the 49ers have success, in the screen game. So Joe Burrow has got to get rid of the ball quick. They cannot get in a situation. These 7-step drops are not going to work. The biggest mismatch in the Super Bowl is the Rams defensive line against the Bengals offensive line. That's the biggest mismatch in the Super Bowl. So it is imperative for Zach Taylor to design a game plan that Joe Burrow gets the ball out of his hands quick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because again, the Titans the Titans, the Rams offense is a lot better than the Titans offense. He ain't winning this game and get sacked 9 times. I don't think he's going to get sacked 9 times.
Not
but
a
there's
chance.
no chance of winning
not
this time.
Not a chance if he gets sacked. I think if he gets sacked like 5 or 6 times, there's no chance they win.
Yeah, I think he gets sacked more than 4 or 5 times. They're in trouble in this game. So yeah, I think that screen game is going to be huge in this game. If they can expose that, again, drop it off the Mixon, Samaje Perine. They try to like a wide receiver screen to Jamar Chase and let him try to go to work in the open field. Something like that too. Trying to design something for one of those weapons to get open is going to be key in this game because the Rams pass rush, again, they're going to come after him. And, again, he's been cool under pressure, but again, Aaron Donald's just a different animal, especially when he's right in your face and it's not coming from the edges. He's coming right at you in the face. It's different.
That gives quarterbacks the most trouble when Donald is rushing right towards them. That gives quarterbacks the most trouble. That definitely gives quarterbacks the most trouble.
Oh, absolutely. You saw Brady a couple weeks ago. Brady was kind of flustered by it a little bit. So, usually everybody's Aaron Donald's coming right at you. It's kind of hard to stay under pressure, stay cool. And I think that's where he's going to make his mistake or two, Burrow, in this game. Again, it could cost him. So I think it's kind of getting that ball out quickly, and helping, just getting that ball quickly, letting one of those guys go to work in the open field, because then they have talent at those positions. So for them to make a big play off of something like that, that's what they're going to need. They're going to have to keep Joe Burrow healthy and, just a clean pocket. But, and doing that, it's just, getting rid of the ball quickly.
Absolutely. Now we go how the Rams offense attacks the Bengals defense. And I think for the Rams offense, I think a big key is how I think a big key is I think they should try to get the running game going. I really do. The Cincinnati has given up a lot of given up rushing yards. They gave up 83 yards to Jacobs. They gave over 100 rushing yards to the Titans. They gave up a lot of rushing yards to the Chiefs, even though that was by design, so they didn't get beat by didn't get beat deep. And I think in this game, I think the one thing the Bengals are going to do is they're going to give the Rams that running game. So I think the Rams, if they see 6 guys in the box for the Bengals, they see those 2 safeties deep. I think you absolutely want to try to run the ball. Then it'll set up play action to get the ball. Then they would have to put a safety in the box, set up play action, make it easier to get the ball to Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham, to get the ball to those guys. I think the Rams definitely should try to run the ball a little bit, and that would definitely make life easier for Matthew Stafford. The number one thing the Rams don't want to do in this game is they don't want Trey Hendrickson to affect this game. If they're able to protect Stafford, I feel like that they're going to put up at least 24 to at least like 27 to 30 points in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point at first of how can the Rams, getting the running game going, the Bengals struggling. Yeah, in the playoffs, the Bengals are giving up 5 yards of carry so far in the playoffs. So they have struggled to stop the run, and they were top 5 stopping the run during the regular season. So they were really good during the regular season. They really struggled in the playoffs. Yeah, against the Chiefs, it was designed because the two high safety look. But if they can get that running going now, Akers has not looked good. He's not really played well. I don't know how much you play. Again, he's coming back from that Achilles injury very quickly. I don't know how much I would even hand him the ball. I know you kind of need the 2 backs of him and Michelle, but he has not looked great since returning. Maybe he gets some open field in this game with the way the Bengals defense is going to play. Henderson, Hubbard had 5.5 sacks total in the playoffs, and BJ Hall's added another sack and a half. So
BJ Hill,
they've had 8 total.
I know all about BJ Hill. He was a former Giant. He had that big interception in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, he did. He did have that big interception. You guys wish you guys would have had him at defense tackle this year.
Yeah. Nice to have him. I mean, he wasn't great, but he's helped the Bengals this year. I'll give him that. Yeah,
he's played well. He has played well this year. It's been a really nice addition for Cincinnati. But I think the Rams. I think Stafford's going to have some success in this game. Again, like the first half, the Chiefs. I know they're not playing the Chiefs again, but the Rams are a pretty good offense, and they did whatever they wanted to them in the first half. They went up and down the field against them with complete ease in the first half. I don't think the Rams are going to do that, but I think they will have a lot of success. I do think Kupp and OBJ are going to have some big games. I could see Sony Michel, Cam Akers having a big game on the ground. Can they play that screen? I don't know. I think they're going to be able to hit some screen plays too with Akers or Michelle and have some big plays as well there. So I think the Rams are going to have a lot of success in this game. Against the defense, gotten better. It's a lot better this year than it was last year. This Rams offense is very good, and again, OBJ has made such an addition, and I think we know who to blame for that one. Is I think that for the OBJ stuff that was on Baker there, but
Baker and the Cleveland Browns and Kevin Stefanski. Yeah, they. I mean, yes, Odell had his issues there. I don't think he stepped up the way he should have, but more of the blame goes to Baker and Kevin Stefanski.
Oh, absolutely, because he's been such a difference maker here for the Rams emerging there as the number 2. I think both those guys, a Cup, OBJ, have big games. I think the Cincinnati struggles against beats them, but again, that pass rush can get to Stafford. He can make a couple mistakes of his own, and they put the Cincy's defense could put Cincinnati's offense in good position. They'd be a very good chance to win this game. But I think their offense, the Rams' offensive line, they'll hold them back just enough in this game.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see there. And our last one we'll talk about the Bengals defense against the Rams offense. I think it's going to be imperative for the Bengals again. No, I mean the Bengals offense against the Bengals defense against the Rams offense. I think it's imperative for the Bengals to rush 4. Trey Hendrickson is going to be a key in this game. He's going to have to get pressure on Matthew Stafford, B.J. Hill, Sam Hubbard. They're going to have to get pressure on Matthew Stafford, and I think they double Cooper Kupp. I think they keep their safeties deep. They kind of give up the run a little bit, keep their safeties deep, and really pay attention to Kupp and OBJ. I think those are the 2 guys you got to be paying attention to, especially Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is one of the top receivers in the game this year, so I feel like the Bengals should double Cooper Kupp, try to take him out of the game, try to limit his production. Even if they give up some rushing yards, even though they get yards, holding them to 3 is not that bad. It's just you just can't have them score 7. You can't have them score 7, and the biggest thing there is trying to contain Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, absolutely. Bend but don't break defense. I think for Cincinnati, again, that'd be huge. They can hold in the field goals. Again, your offense is good enough to kind of convert those, put up 7 on the board, coming back. And yeah, as you mentioned, rushing 4. That really worked against the Chiefs in the second half because they were only rushing 3 in the first half. They rushed 4 or 5.
They rushed 4. They rushed 4 in the first half. They rushed 3 in the second half. What they did in that Chiefs game is they rushed 3 and they played man coverage. But I don't think they could do that against the Rams because I don't think there's a corner that can match up with OBJ one-on-one. They could double Kupp, but I don't think there's a corner on the Bengals that can match up with OBJ one-on-one.
No, I don't think there is. And I think that could be problematic. Again, with that too high safety look, they'll give up some rushing yards. But again, I think you'll live with that. You'll live with that as long. You mentioned you bend, don't break. If they can get the Matthew Stafford, because again, we've seen at times Matthew Stafford under pressure gets flustered and he'll throw a pick or 2. He'll give you. Again, the Rams kind of cost themselves 10 points last against the Niners NFC Championship game. They threw a pick in the red zone. They missed a field goal. If you can do stuff like that, just for the Bengals, I think you'll be in good shape. Again, I think it's going to be tough to really get after Stafford because I really like the Rams' offensive line. I think they'll be able to contain the Hubbard, Hall, and Hendrickson. But if not, if they can become game records, which is possible, they're good enough to become game records. They're in a really, really good spot to win the game. If they can force a fumble or 2, if they can make Matthew Stafford throw a pick or 2, they're in good chance. But yeah, I don't really see the Cincinnati, outside double team and Kupp. I just don't know how they kind of slow them down in the secondary. And again, I think they have to get after Stafford because I think one-on-one with OBJ. And if Stafford got time to get him the ball, I think Cincinnati could be in for a long day.
Absolutely. So, and I think pressure on Stafford is so key because you saw the games like the Tennessee game where they got pressure on Stafford. The game against San Francisco. You start to in the game against Green Bay. You pressure Stafford, he can make some mistakes. Matthew Stafford is definitely mistake prone. He's a really good quarterback, but he's mistake prone. So I think pressure is going to be the key for that Bengals defense. To wrap up, I like the Rams, and the reason I do like the Rams is just because they have the better team. I expect both quarterbacks to play well. I expect both quarterbacks to play really well in the Super Bowl, but I'm just taking the better coach team. I think Zach Taylor's done a really good job. I will admit, I was wrong about Zach Taylor. I was highly critical of Zach Taylor, and I will admit on this show that I was wrong about Zach Taylor. I think he's done a really good job, but I got to go with the better roster and the better coach. That's why my prediction is Rams 30-24 with Matthew Stafford being the MVP.
Yeah, absolutely. I got the Rams as well, 27-23 at home. Everything, they mortgage their whole entire future for this season. I think they get over the top. They're the better team. Again, Cincinnati's been an unbelievable story. There's, again, 2 weeks ago, nobody thought they were going to beat the Chiefs. They, again, probably will come back. And I think this is where the clock strikes midnight here for the Bengals. Again, I think with Joe Burrow, they'll be back one day. Not going to be the last time we see Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl. And I think Matthew Stafford wins MVP. Him or Cooper Kupp. But again, more than likely, it probably is going to go with the quarterback other than a wide receiver. If something really drastic happens. So, I think the Rams find a way to win it. I think they are a little bit better of a team. I think the Rams pass rush gets to Joe Burrow and he makes a mistake or two. I think it's sacked 4 or 5 times this game. And, I'll admit too, Zach Taylor, I was totally wrong on. He's done a really good job to get this team here. I said last week or 2 weeks ago that this was as far as Zach Taylor was going to be able to lead them. He was not going to be able to get them over the top. I was wrong about that. I figured there's no chance this guy was going to come back next year. But, again, he's lined himself up for contract extension. Good for him. So, unbelievable season for the Bengals. But, I think the clock strikes midnight for him.
Yeah, great year for the Bengals. We'll definitely see Joe Burrow in this spot again. The guy's so unfazed. I'm so impressed by the way he played. He's played this year. You can argue he's a top 3, top 4 quarterback in the league. But it's just, I feel like this is the Rams' time. They went all in. The Super Bowl's in LA. I feel like this is the Rams' time. I think the Bengals give them a game, but I feel like this is the Rams' time. That's why I got them winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think they're a little bit better than them at this moment than the Bengals. It's at home. They've gone through a lot to get here. They've, getting Stafford, getting Miller, getting OBJ, getting all those pieces, giving up the draft picks and all that. Yeah, they've given up so much to get to the chance. And again, it looked like they didn't fall apart against the Bucs. They found a way to come back, win that game. Get the game-winning field goal there. Again, they looked good last 2 weeks ago against the Niners. I think it is their time. I think it's Matthew Stafford time to get his first Super Bowl, and I think they find a way to pull it out, get the win.
Absolutely. Should be a great game. We'll definitely be recapping it next week. But we got to move on to the coaching carousel, and it was very, very busy this week as we start with the Jaguars. Doug Peterson getting the job in Jacksonville, and I like this hire. I like the fact the Jaguars hired a coach with experience, a coach that has won a Super Bowl. Yes, he didn't win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. He won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. So I think Doug Peterson is a good coach. I think the Eagles made a mistake. I think they should have got rid of Howie Roseman and kept Doug Peterson as the head coach. I think Doug Peterson's a good coach, and I'm really confident he's going to turn things around here in Jacksonville. I think Trevor Lawrence is really going to benefit Trevor Lawrence. Peterson's a good offensive mind. I think it's going to benefit Trevor Lawrence. And a lot of times you're guessing with coordinators. I don't think you're guessing here. I think Doug Peterson's going to get the job done. I feel like Jacksonville's – it depends on what Trent Baalke does. If they're going to get enough talent around Trevor Lawrence and if they can get enough talent for Doug Peterson. But I think this is going to work. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be really good. And I think this is a 5-6 win team next year. I think this team is going to be in position. They're going to be a lot more competitive this year. The Jaguars will definitely be a lot more competitive this year with the hiring of Doug Peterson.
Yeah, absolutely. I like this hire as well. This guy made Carson Wentz 1 year again, win the MVP. Trevor Lawrence, as we all kind of, everybody kind of says he's going to be a generational talent. Again, I think Doug Peterson's a good one for him. They kind of teach him. Good offensive-minded guy. Yeah, it ended very poorly in Philadelphia. There's a lot of issues there. And I think it is a good hire. Again, I think Jacksonville did a tremendous job here, with the Peterson hire. And I think he'll do good things with Trevor Lawrence. Again, can Jacksonville build around him and build around Trevor Lawrence here and do enough to help him out? Time will tell in Jacksonville. But I think that was a good step in the right direction. I think it's a good step here for Trevor Lawrence. If you're a Jaguars fan of his progression, I think, Trevor Lawrence is going to be a lot better next year. So, I like the hire. Again, it's an NFC South that, again, the Texans are really rebuilding. The Colts, I guess, with Wentz are, okay still. Titans look good. But, it's a division where, you can get good enough. I think you can overpass the Colts right now and obviously the Texans. So, it's a division, I think, second place right now. I don't think Jaguars are going to be there, but, in another couple of years, I think Jaguars could be fighting there for, second place in that division.
Look at the Bengals. There is no excuse for an NFL team not to turn their team around in 3 years. There's no excuse. If you can't turn your team around in a 3-year window, I know the Bengals did it in a 2-year window, but if you can't turn your team around in a 3-year window, there is no excuse for that. And I think they very easily could have the best quarterback in this division, and it's going to be all up to Trent Baalke for making the right draft picks. And he did a pretty good job in San Francisco. The problem with Baalke is his patience with coaches. That's been a problem with him as a GM. But the way Baalke bounces back as a GM, though, is drafting the right players, have patience with Doug Peterson, trust that this is going to work. He has won a Super Bowl. He has experience. He's had success. I think, honestly, out of all the coaching hires, this is my favorite hire.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. It was either that or it was Dable until the Peterson hire. I agree with it. I do like Dable. I do like Peterson. You saw what Joe Burrow did again, and I know they did a good job kind of building enough, and again with all the weapons they built, with the defense, and again like Zach Taylor, I like the door's still open. Like again, he has done a better job this year. But yeah, again, and especially in the NFC North division, and I know like the Ravens were banged up all year. I know the Steelers are 500. And same thing with Cleveland, they had a lot of injuries, but that was a really competitive NFC North, and they beat each other up every week. And to win that, to come out of the division to be sitting where they are in the Super Bowl, and we all thought that they were going to be the doormat division, and they're able to compete. Yeah, I think it is possible for Jacksonville to compete in the next few years in this division. And like especially Tannehill's still the quarterback. We kind of saw what happened in the playoffs. They do enough around him, especially that I think that defense played better at the end of last year. They added another few pieces besides the Patriot game. They got destroyed, but I think there is no excuse. I think you get the right quarterback, and I think Trevor Lawrence is like going to be a very good quarterback in this league. It's not that hard to turn things around. It's as long as you got the right coach in a halfway decent roster, you could steal some games in this league.
Absolutely. So we'll go on to the Dolphins, and they hired Mike McDaniel to be their head coach. And I have mixed reactions on this one. I think this move could help Tua. I think here's one thing: the Dolphins' running game will be better next year. They'll run the Kyle Shanahan offense. Their running game will be better next year. I think Tua could very easily, improve with this coach, because that was the issue with Brian Flores. Him and Tua were not seeing eye to eye. Flores did not. That's why Flores. I know there's other reasons why he lost his job, but I think he ultimately lost his job is because he did not like Tua. So the Dolphins decided to side with the quarterback, not the coach. But the problem here is, how is this 38-year-old going to be able to lead this team? How is he going to be the guy in the locker room? This is why it's always a guessing game with coordinators. It is one of the most difficult things to do is predict how a coordinator is going to be as a head coach, because it is a guessing game. And this is definitely a guessing game here with Mike McDaniel. How is he going to stare into those guys' eyes after a loss and get them to trust him that things are going in the right direction? I mean, he's a smart guy. He went to Yale, really good offensive mind. But how is he going to be able to coach the entire team? Because Brian Flores did a great job coaching the entire team. He took a team that was 1-7, and they ended up going 9-8. So, and he had 2 winning seasons in Miami. That is very difficult to do in that organization. I don't care if he didn't make the playoffs. He had 2 winning seasons in Miami. Mike McDaniels, there's parts to him I like, there's parts to him I don't like. He's a question mark for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how I feel about this hire yet. Again, you got to imagine they're picking the guy that just like Tua and talked the most about Tua and how they're going to develop Tua to become the star that they think he's going to become one day. And yeah, again, he's been with Shanahan the last 11 years. He came up with that creative running system. He was a part of that creative running system, the play designer. Again, was a big part of kind of Samuel's kind of impact there with the running game. Again, maybe you can have the same impact with Jalen Waddle and be able to get him more involved in the running game. It's like, how can if you listen to him at his press conference, I don't know how this guy's kind of going to be a leader of men. I didn't really like his demeanor, some of the stuff he was saying in the press conference. So the for me, it's still kind of out for me. And at Division II with Buffalo playing well, again, you got to imagine New England's going to continue to be right up there. And again, with the Jets, who knows? But again, it is always hit or miss with these coordinators. Again, you never know. You just never know when they don't have that Kyle Shanahan, that Andy Reid, or that Bill Belichick in the room. They kind of tell them how to do, and they're kind of being the whole, running the whole operation. It is a lot different. And we'll see. He's a young guy, but he seems very smart. But it's a tough division to break into. And, like Brian Flores did a terrific job down there. It's unfortunate what happened with everything, but we'll see. It's Miami is not an easy place to win right now.
Absolutely not. And as I've said, coordinators are always a guessing game. I mean, you're not leading a position group. You're leading adults that are trying to put food on their families' tables. They're trying to put food on the table for their families. You're not leading a position group. So definitely a roll of the dice there for Mike McDaniel. Next, the Texans hire Lovie Smith. I know he has experience. I know he had success in Chicago. Didn't have success in Tampa. But here's my issue with this hire. Okay, I'm not going to get into the Flores stuff. I'm not going to get into that. I think the biggest issue for me with this hire is if you're going to fire David Culley, why would you hire somebody who worked under David Culley? What was your rationale for firing David Culley? To me, that's where I'm so confused with what the Texans are doing. I really am so confused. Like, if you're going to fire Culley, if you're going to hire Lovie Smith, just keep David Culley. And the team played for David Culley. So I know the good part of Lovie Smith is he's a coach with experience, and he's gotten to a Super Bowl. The issue here is if you didn't like the job David Culley did, why would you hire a guy that was on his staff?
Yeah, to me, it is a weird hire. Because my thing is they either wanted Brian Flores, and because of this lawsuit, they can't hire him. And it sounded like too they were all in on Josh McCown too. Like they really wanted McCown.
Until the whole thing came up, and it would have been what would have happened if they hired McCown.
Yeah.
We would have all blasted them.
Yeah,
this is kind of the safe hire for them. This is the safe hire because we would everyone, including our show, would have blasted them if they hired McCown, and rightfully so. He's a coach with no experience.
Yeah, absolutely. We should have. And look, who knows if – and look, I hope this doesn't happen. But what happens if they just do the 1 year? They just hope this thing all blows over. They fire Lovie Smith next year and they go to McCown next year. Like, why don't they bring him on as an OC or something? They really want this guy to be an ex-head coach. Why don't they bring him on the OC? Maybe I'd like it better then. They actually give this guy some experience at the NFL level. But, yeah, like, again, I saw Lovie Smith in Illinois, did a horrible job. Again, Tampa Bay didn't have much success. And after that Super Bowl, the Bears went downhill. Like, I'm with you, and I know Lovie Smith was not their first option, but yeah, why fire Culley? That guy, again, he was, wasn't the biggest fan of him, the play calling and stuff. I thought he was a little way too, in some of their games, they got way too conservative. But hey, they played hard for him. They won, 4 games with that roster with Davis Mills at your quarterback. That's pretty, that's pretty good for that roster that they had. They were competitive in a lot of games, so. Yeah, I don't get it why you just hire Lovie again. Well, we kind of know why they did it, but yeah, it's the Texans again, just messing more things up.
Yeah, that organization to me, I just don't know. I think that right now they're the most dysfunctional organization in the NFL.
Them or the Lions.
Yeah, I think at least the Lions have a direction with Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
The Texans, I feel like, have no direction at all. No plan, no direction at all.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, at least they know, and at least Dan Campbell kind of showed you something that they did play hard in Detroit for the first time in a few years. So, yeah, no, you're probably right. Texans, yeah. Now, Casario's having a rough one so far. He's had a rough tenure so far. And, yeah, who knows what's going to happen with Watson either, right? Who knows what happens.
Yeah, it is a mess down in Houston. And lastly, the Saints. I think everybody knew this one was pretty obvious when Sean Payton resigned. The Saints hired Dennis Allen. I think what they wanted to do was they had a good year last year. They went 9-8 without really good quarterback. Without good quarterback play. They went 9-8. Strength of the team defense. Want to hire Dennis Allen. I like the hire. I think Dennis Allen needs to. I think he deserves another shot. I think it was a disaster with the Raiders, but that's such a pathetic organization. I think he deserves a shot with a real organization. And I'm sorry, the Raiders were not a real organization when he was the head coach. There it was absolutely pathetic. Their organization is absolutely pathetic. So he's in a really good spot. He's in a really good organization. The Saints just got to figure out who that quarterback is going to be, and it's still a big question mark for them. But I do like the hire of Dennis Allen. I think he deserves another shot.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think he got a fair shot in Oakland. I thought those were probably the worst teams in the NFL during that tenure, or they were right there at the bottom. Those teams did not have a lot of talent. He's got a lot of work cut out for him here. That defense was really good last year. Again, they're like $75 million with a cap or something like that. Again, who's going to play quarterback? Again, we're not getting into it today, but again, the news about Alvin Kamara now. Again, Michael Thomas didn't play all of last year. Like again, how healthy is he? Does if you go into rebuild, do you maybe try to get something for Thomas? I think he's got a lot of work to do here. There's a lot of question marks in New Orleans right now. Again, it's tough to follow the shoes of Sean Payton of what he did down there. But, yeah, I think he does deserve another shot, especially what he did with that defense. And, this year, yeah, they did not have a quarterback. That's their biggest question is offseason, one of them. But, yeah, I do think he deserves another shot. He did not get a fair shake in Oakland. Those teams were horrendous.
Yeah, absolutely. So the NBA trade deadline is tomorrow. So we'll be hitting on. We're going to hit on that next. But before we talk about that, we got a promo from Clovercrest Media.
Apps can do a lot of cool things. You could order dinner, gamble on your favorite team, and track your health. You could even get a mortgage. One click and you can be approved. I'm not sure by who or what country they're in. You deserve more from the mortgage industry. At AnyMac Home Mortgage, we believe in the need for live human interaction during a very complex process. The kind of service and guidance which an app simply can't provide. Our customers are more than credit scores and income documents. They're individuals and families who live in and strengthen our communities. Their story is our story, and that story begins in a home. Chris Sawyer is an expert on providing superior customer service and in meeting the mortgage needs of current and future home buyers. With over 18 years of experience in the industry, Chris is able to help customers migrate through the home buying and home financing process by using his wealth of knowledge as a well-qualified mortgage professional. And best of all, Chris is located in Cromwell, Connecticut, where he has helped hundreds of clients in Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island make their dreams of home ownership a reality. Visit chrissawyer.any-mac.com. Email him at csawyer@any-mac.com or give him a call, 860-878-8730.
Chris Sawyer, NMLS number 39345, corporate NMLS number 338923. AnyMac Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender. American Neighborhood Mortgage Acceptance Company, LLC. DBA AnyMac Home Mortgage. Lo-Fi Direct. Connecticut First Mortgage Correspondent. Licensed lender. Broker number ML 338923. Massachusetts Mortgage Lender and Mortgage Broker License number MC 338923. Rhode Island Licensed Lender. License number 2011280L. Call for additional details.
All right, the NBA trade deadline is tomorrow, and the big story in there is the James Harden trade. It's the Nets and Sixers talking about a James Harden trade, and if the Nets do this trade, here we go, Jace. With what the Braves did, with what the Braves and Rams are doing, this NBA trade deadline could lead. Yes, the great point there by Jace. Jace kind of knew where I was going. I think Jace kind of knew where I was going there, and the team that it could lead to is the Philadelphia 76ers. If you're the Sixers, and if the Nets are stupid enough to offer you James Harden for Ben Simmons, you take it. You absolutely have to take that. Daryl Morey wants him. If the Nets do this, they're totally stupid. They are idiots. If they trade James Harden, they could not be bigger idiots at this point. I know he's a free agent next year, but they could not be bigger idiots if they trade James Harden. I mean that would if they trade James Harden for Ben Simmons, that would make the Sixers the favorite and would definitely hurt the Nets. Absolutely hurt the Nets' chances to win the NBA. All right, probably ends their chances because we know Kyrie because Kyrie's not going to play in the home game, so that would end the Nets' chances of being a title contender. So if you're the Brooklyn Nets, the reason you've lost 8 in a row is because you have not had Kevin Durant and one of your players refuses to be a team player and get vaccinated. That's why you've lost 8 in a row. If you get this big three on the court. We really haven't seen much of this big three, but if this big three comes together, knowing the history of this league, we saw it in Golden State, this team could very easily win a championship. It will be I think it'll be the dumbest move in my life as an NBA fan if the Nets trade James Harden to the 76ers.
Yeah, I'm a Kings fan, and we'll get to that. Yesterday I thought was very stupid, but Kings make a lot of stupid moves. But anyways, this is from ESPN. This was a little big on. Nets start screaming every way possible he can to get out of Brooklyn at the moment. Now, this is what I heard too from the New York governor yesterday. She's lifting the she's lifting like the mandatory max kind of indoor mask kind of law, but she said that it's up to the individual towns and cities to kind of decide when that is. So if that's the case, you gotta imagine Kyrie Irving's going to be able to play at home games pretty soon. So why would he want to so if that's the case, why would you want to leave Brooklyn? Because it sounds like he wants to leave. Why would you want to leave Brooklyn? And why would you give up to your division rival? It's just a division rival. And again, I know it's, like if this was the Knicks, you know how destroyed they'd be getting get? Like they're lucky they're like the kind of behind the Knicks in popularity and all that in the city. I would not understand it. Why? And I know because look, it sounds like I think Kyrie's gonna be able to play at some point in home games. It's worth it to win a title and let James Harden walk and go wherever he wants in the offseason. That is totally worth it. Why would you trade him up, not get that chance, and then isn't Kyrie Durant up for free? They can opt out, so they could both leave. It's again, this would be totally dumb the bring in Ben Simmons, which again in the New York market, I know I just said it's kind of behind the Knicks, but you're still in the New York market. It ain't getting any easier for Ben Simmons, especially if they don't win the title. And Ben Simmons is part of the reason why he's going to get killed. And now you're in Brooklyn. Good luck. I don't get the reasoning behind it for Sean Marks and the Nets. Again, Dale Morey, I think, I home run for him. And again, it's good that they're actually still trying to get him because they are wasting Joel Embiid's year. They're wasting a year of his prime to do this. But yeah, it is a totally stupid move by the Brooklyn Nets. If you really give up James Harden, you make them sit and again, this is a championship team. If they're all healthy, if the big three are healthy in the playoffs and if Kyrie can play at home, again, there's not too many teams. Again, who's better than them? Nobody in the Eastern Conference. Maybe the Suns, but they're right there. I think they're better than the Suns. They're
better than the Suns. I think maybe the Warriors, if Klay starts to get really hot, if Klay and Steph get back to what they were, maybe the Warriors. But really, with the big three together, I don't think there's a team that's better than them.
No, there isn't. And they'll probably be like a 6-5, 6-2. Who knows? But I still think they're the most talented team in that Eastern Conference. It doesn't matter what seed they're. They'll get to the championship. They should get to the NBA Finals. So again, it would be totally stupid to kind of quit now because it sounds like they're gonna have Kyrie at home sooner rather than later. So I don't get it, especially trading your division rival. You're just kind of pretty much aiming them a very good chance of winning a title, which again I would think pisses off a lot of Nets fans.
Oh, I mean, if Harden gets traded, the players in the NBA, great top 10 players, don't get traded at the trade deadline because their team has a chance to win a championship. You don't do that. If this happens, Sean Marks should be fired. If he trades James Harden right now, he should be fired. I don't care if the guy right now doesn't want to quote unquote be there. There was a year Kyrie Irving didn't want to be in Cleveland, but the Cavs weren't going to trade him because they knew they had to keep him and LeBron together to get to the finals. You don't trade. They cannot make this deal if you're the Nets.
No, you can't let your players walk over you like this. I know it's a league where the players kind of own the organizations, but you can't do that. You can't let the players just walk over you because they don't want to be here. Again, it's a championship level team when healthy. Does he really hate it here that much that he wants to get out of town as soon as possible? Again, I know it hasn't worked out like he thought, but again, nobody really knew at the time what this pandemic and that we were still going to be in pandemic at this point in time in almost 2 years. Again, it would be. He deserves to be fired. Again, I know he wants to get out of there, but again, you make him sit there and play. Again, again, do what the Sixers are doing with Simmons. Tell him to sit out then. I just don't get it. Don't just, again, he may walk away, but if it's worth it if you win a title. And again, I can't see him sitting out with this team. If Durant or Kyrie Irving are healthy and playing in the playoffs, there's no way, there's no chance that James Harden gets to sit out and not participate. He'd play. I'm with you. I'd make him sit out if he doesn't want to be here. I'd make him sit out until he really wants to play. I think at some point he would with Kyrie and Durant healthy.
Yeah. I think eventually he's definitely going to want to play, and it's just I think the Nets, the best interest of the Nets right now is you got to keep him. You got to keep him because with the big three together, I still think you're the favorite in the East. But we'll go on to another team that made a trade, and that is the Blazers. They traded CJ McCollum for Josh Hart. And I think for the Pelicans, it does make them, it makes them a team that is, I think, going to get, even if Zion doesn't come back, I think with him and Brandon Ingram and Valanciunas, I think they're a team that's going to get in. I think they're definitely going to. I think they're a team that's going to get not in the playoffs, but the play-in. So I think the Pelicans are going to get into the play-in tournament. And for the Blazers, Dame Lillard's got one out of there. The Blazers are lying, saying, "Oh, we want to get another superstar. We want to build around Dame." Stop. It's time for Dame and the Blazers to move on. If you're Dame, I would want to get out of there as fast as possible.
I would. Yeah, I would as well if I'm Damian Lillard. Again, it's been great. They wanted to kind of stick around there, but it may be time. With McCall trade, with Brooklyn, with New Orleans, I get, you know, makes some sense again. I know you kind of lose Josh Hart's a really good defender. McCollum does not play much defense, but again, he's been a terrific 3-point shooter in the league. McCollum, again, if you could ever get Zion Williamson back on the floor anytime soon with that, him and Ingram, Jonas Vankalaunic has been a good center in the league for a while, for, last 7-8 years. Yeah, it is a nice little core that, again, is obviously good enough to get into the play-in games, to at least, again, how much better they are, Again, you add a guy like McCollum. He's been in the playoffs too. The team doesn't have a ton of playoff experience, to help out Zion. Again, I have no idea when Zion's going to ever come back. It sounds like not till at least the end of February now. But McCollum's a solid shooter. Again, definitely an upgrade over Josh Hart. It's a nice little move. Again, do they add like a bigger kind of guard? Probably not, in the next day or two, but at like the point guard who's the better defender at the point guard spot, to kind of make up for defensive laps. But again, it's a team that's 26th in the league right now, 3-point shooting. CJ McCollum is obviously going to elevate that. So yeah, I do think it's a good move for the Pelicans. Get them a little bit better, get some probably, and if they could ever get Zion back, it definitely does elevate them. Again, maybe they'd sneak into the and win a play-in spot and be getting as one of those seeds to play in the first round.
Yeah, I think the Pelicans obviously sneak in the play-in, and for the Blazers, I think they're rebuilding. I think this is the sign of them starting to rebuilding. They're going to get rid of Dame. I think that they're going to now build through the draft. And it's going to be a while till they'll be a championship contender.
Yeah, I think so too. Again, it kind of seems like it hasn't really worked out this year with Chauncey Billups as the head coach. It doesn't really seem like it's kind of panned out the way they wanted it to. Bring in another kind of veteran guard to kind of coach his team. It hasn't worked. I do think it's time. Again, I think they get a lot of value for Damian Lillard right now. He's a very good point guard. I think, it'll pretty much, any team would probably that needs a point guard would want him. I do think it's time. Again, load up the draft picks, kind of build your way up there. Again, it's not a big market team. They kind of have to do it that way. And if you can hit on enough draft picks, again, you can kind of get back to contending. Again, like McCollum and Damian Lillard are two guys that are from mid-major schools, Weber State and Lehigh, and they're able to kind of put put Portland on their backs. And it's unfortunate they're never able to get over the hump and could not get out of the conference finals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they did get to the conference finals that one year when they lost to the Warriors. But yeah, it definitely is. But here's the moment we're waiting for. Your Sacramento Kings traded away their pretty much the player that you thought could turn the organization around. They trade for Devontae Sabonis. They trade for the Pacers get Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield, and I think the Pacers won this trade. I don't know how great Halliburton's going to be, but they traded Sabonis. Sabonis is good, but he's a power forward. Doesn't have a chance to be a superstar. He's 25. Halliburton more upside, so that's why the Pacers made that move. And I know you are going to go on a rant about those Sacramento Kings.
Once again, they screwed up. Tyrese Halliburton. Do you remember it was after the draft. He kind of said he did not give his report, or he didn't give his medical report out to any other team in front of the Kings because he wanted to come to Sacramento to play for this team and to play with De'Aaron Fox. He said on the night of his press conference the night he got drafted, I want to change the culture. I want to get the team back in the playoffs. Again, this is Monty McNair's first pick. This is his guy. You ship him off in 18 months. For Sabonis, who, again, not a great 3-point shooter. Yeah, he scores 25 points a game, but mostly from 5 feet inside. He has no interior defense. Again, I think Bagley's gone now, too. I think him and Holmes are probably gone. Again, we have no interior presence down low. You get rid of Tyrese Halliburton, who's our best defender. He's gone. Again, I think Halliburton has more upside than Fox does. Fox is a terrific player. I do like Fox, but I think Fox does not make the team better around him. Yet Halliburton had 17 assists the other night with his team. 17. He had 13 and 17. He's been so much better on the ball. And 2 weeks ago, Monty McNair, we're building around Fox and Halliburton. We're building a team around these two. They lied. Vladdy lied. The minute the Cousins, 2 weeks before they traded Cousins, Cousins, we're going to build around DeMarcus Cousins. He leaves, or they trade him. The night of the All-Star game, in the middle of the All-Star game, with DeMarcus Cousins playing and they got rid of him. Again, it's an organization that just could never get out of their own way. Again, I've been listening to podcasts because, I do watch some of the games. I don't watch all of them, so I do try to kind of keep up and see what the way the land is out there. Again, fans are not happy. Fans weren't happy at all. There's a lot of fans not happy about this. There has not been a lot of happy fans either. And again, Monty McNair has no direction. How does this make us better? How does the bonus make us better? Again, he thinks a 9 or 10 seed, and we're all going to applaud him, and we're all going to throw a parade. That's not happening. I would have been fine in the playing game for this 7 to 8 seed, not the 9 or 10. I expect this team to be in the top 8, not 9th or 10th. I'm not accepting that because at least you get 2 games. At least you get 2 chances. You only get 1 to 9 or 10. Again, they messed up with coaching. Luke Walton, again, that's another thing that McNair messed up on. Luke Walton, 3 weeks before they fired him. Yeah, he's the guy that's going to help us in the playoffs. They fired him 3 weeks later. I don't like this guy. And then he's a Dale Morey guy. So he's all about the analytics, the three-point shot. He traded away their 2 best three-point shooters. Now Fox is their best one at 34%. How are you winning this league if you do not have a three-point shooter? I just don't understand it. Look, I'm happy that we're going to have Jeremy Lamb. But you're a
UConn guy, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a UConn guy.
Yeah.
You know, and then Justin Holiday. I heard he's unvaccinated. So he may not even play in our home games.
Oh,
he just added a piece that may not even play for us. It's just idiotic in Sacramento. Vladdy, again, I thought you couldn't get any worse than Vladdy Divac, but Monty McNair is doing his best impression. And again, I hope this organization never makes another playoff. They deserve it. I hope Tyrese Halliburton becomes an MVP. Again, I know he probably won't, but I hope he does. I hope he comes back and puts up 70 on us next year. Again, I hope he goes out and becomes one of the greatest ever. Again, I know it's not going to happen, but I hope he torches us, and I hope he has a great career. I'm happy for him. He gets out of this stink hole that we call Sacramento. Again, this organization it's just clueless and whatever. So Sabonis is a good player, but again, it just does not make us better, and it's frustrating. I want no part of this organization. I hate this organization. It's just, again, I think we're the worst organization in sports. I really do. At least the Lions have made a playoff appearance. At least the Texans have made a playoff appearance in the last 5 years. We haven't even sniffed it. We haven't been the final week. We have not even had a chance. We've been eliminated the last 16 years. I can't stand it. I'd rather have clowns run this. I'd rather have clowns run our organization than this. It's just pitiful. Again, I'm not watching the game this year. I'm completely done. I can't watch this team anymore. Until they actually show me that there's actually direction and there's a front office that knows how to make decisions, I'll start tuning my time. I don't like getting frustrated at 10:30 at night watching the team play basketball because again they should be better than what the record says. Again, it's just frustrating. They don't have a coach. They don't have a direction. They think front office thinks that 9 or 10 seed is good enough for us fans and. Again, it's just not. It's just not. And we've been cursed pretty much since 2002, and that curse is continuing. And this will be my last point too. And you don't know this. What's like the one thing that Sacramento did that was actually good since moving to Sacramento? It was the Chris Webber trade. Chris Webber, because I was starting to warm up a little bit to Ben Simmons coming to Sacramento because maybe disgruntled star needed a new home. You know, maybe Ben Simmons somewhat becomes that guy. You know, again, I didn't want it for the price of that Morey was asking for, but like I wouldn't have minded a little bit. But again, I don't think Sabonis coming in here being our Chris Webber. I just don't see it. And more frustration. Again, I really liked Halliburton. I thought he was the one, but I guess that's the thing too. Fox, Mitchell, and Halliburton are 3 point guards. Those are your 3 best players. It's not, like I knew they had to try to trade one of the 3. But I was hoping it was probably going to be Fox. I love Fox, but I think Halliburton's going to be a better player than Fox. I think Fox isn't a great defender. He's not a great 3-point shooter. I think Halliburton makes everybody better. Again, it's a one guy that actually wanted to come here and actually win. And you just throw him to the Wolves and you just get rid of him. He said he wants to be here. Again, I know McNair's not going to fire because it's year 2, but I'm not happy with McNair, and he better. I don't know what's really going to make me happy at this point. But with McNair, because I just very tired of it. And again, I'm waiting for another 20 years of us just again continuing to just be in the abyss. And yeah, I thought Halliburton was the one guy that was going to help us. I thought he was going to be our Chris Webber. I thought he was the guy we drafted. He was going to be our guy to help us elevate. But I don't get the reason why. And Monty McNair never speaks either. So we will never hear why he made the steal. It is what it is.
Exactly. Just a poorly ran organization. But we'll go back to the Pacers. They on Sunday they traded Karis LeVert to the Cavs. I just think the Pacers are just trying to sell some pieces off, get better in the future. And I think it's a good move for the Cavs. I think this makes the Cavs a legitimate team in the Eastern Conference. With Garland, with him, with obviously Sexton's hurt too. With Jared Allen and with Evan Mobley.
Yeah, I like the Cavs. I think they need another point guard, with Garland out. But I think it's a good move for them. I think they're going to be right there still, Eastern Conference, right up in the top of the organization or, right there in the Eastern Conference. Again, yeah, they probably won't get to the finals. But, again, I think the Cavs right now are in a good spot, and they're kind of rebuilt here. And I think, they're way ahead of schedule. I think it's good. They kind of add another point guard here. I think was or not a point guard, but just adding LeVert, I think was a good thing. Again, opens up things for Haliburton to kind of, again, makes more sense. That's why they got Haliburton at the time. But, I think they need another guard, and Chris LeVert is a very good guard. So, again, I think it's a good move for Cleveland to kind of get another scorer in town for him.
Yeah, exactly. And I know I'm going to throw a little curve here, but we know about last night with the Lakers, and what a disgrace. What an absolute disgrace Russell Westbrook is. He couldn't and then now they lose the game, and now he's trying to pick up AD and LeBron. AD and LeBron could care less what you think. They don't care what you think. They don't at this point. I know LeBron wanted him here, but at this point, LeBron is regretting wanting you here. He knows that 2 years ago, these two guys with three of the players they traded for Westbrook won a championship. Horrible trade for the Lakers to trade for Russell Westbrook. This is the number one reason why this team is underachieving. And the sad part is they can't move this guy at the trade deadline.
No, they can't. And I heard this actually the other day. I heard the Buddy Hield deal was done. I heard Montes Harrell. Oh my God, who's the other guy? And Kyle Kuzma. They're already shopping for house in Sacramento. Buddy already picked out his jersey for the Lakers. Like, they was that done. I don't know what happened. The guy who was saying, he's like, I don't know what happened at the end, but it just kind of he fell apart. But they had Buddy. Again, I know Buddy wouldn't, again, he's better than Westbrook. Again, that was bad. Again, they were getting clobbered. It's actually sad that this team's 3 games under 500. And again, I love the part where LeBron got teed up too after a dunk. Again, I don't know how that was a foul. I don't know what he was crying about, but that was great. That did make my night a little bit better. Watching the Lakers just absolutely steamrolled. Russell Westbrook is a total. That was horrible. I said the last few weeks, I don't know why they got rid of Rondo. I really don't. I thought he worked perfectly with that team. I don't know. I love seeing the Lakers like this, so I continue to hope. I hope that they continue to just be in this free fall here.
Yeah, and even if they traded for Buddy Hield, that's probably a better. Buddy Hield's not a better player than Russell Westbrook, but it's probably a better fit because that guy, he could shoot threes. LeBron could penetrate. He could shoot threes. They could double AD in the post. He could shoot threes. That's definitely a better fit than Russell Westbrook is.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Buddy won't help you on the defensive end. And again, like a team on like that, like with the Kings at times, it's like he'll shoot you out of game. But when he's out LeBron and AD, I don't think he's going to take dumb shots because I don't think that would end pretty for him. I think LeBron or AD would be in his face about it. So, yeah, like Buddy's a good shooter. I think he's 40% this year from 3. Like, again, when Buddy's on. He will not, again, I know the Lakers stink defensively. He won't help in that area, but he is better than Westbrook. He is a better defender than Westbrook, plays enough defense. But, yeah, Buddy's a good shooter. I don't really know why that thing fell apart like it did, but it was pretty much done. And yeah, Buddy would have been a better option than Russell Westbrook. Again, I know LeBron and AD are probably friends with him, probably wanted to bring Westbrook in more than Buddy Hield, but yeah, it just has not worked out. And it's been fun to watch the collapse of it happen.
Yeah, for you as a Kings fan, absolutely. So UConn snapped their losing streak last night, and they have two games in the Big East on the road this week. But before we talk about that, we got a promo from Clovercrest Media.
So, Jess, why did you become a realtor? I worked in various customer service jobs, so I wanted something a little bit more rewarding. Becoming a real estate agent, being able to help people find their forever homes or their investment homes, starter homes. It's very exciting, so a lot of fun.
Now, you've gotten off to a really good start in your real estate career. What has been the most rewarding part of this for you so far?
Helping people, especially like first-time home buyers, finding their first home. They're so excited. I'm so excited to help them. So it's a nice, rewarding part.
What is it that you think makes you different than other real estate agents?
I think that my various roles in customer service has helped me. So I like to ask a lot of questions and I want to know what I'm doing. So I think that helps a lot because I'm not going to steer people the wrong way. I'm going to make sure they have knowledgeable decisions and help them find the right home.
Last thing I'm going to ask you is, and I know these are words that you live by, but the mantra at CTBB Realty is?
People over paychecks, you do the damn thing.
And that's what we do.
Alrighty, UConn gets a big win last night, 80-72 over Marquette. Sanago was outstanding. I texted you during the game. I said, Marquette has no answer for Sanago, and they didn't. He had an outstanding game. Tyrese Martin had a good game as well. So UConn gets a win they needed. If they lost this one, that would be their third loss in a row in Big East play. They got the win they needed. What are they now? 7-3 in Big East play now.
7-4.
7-4. Yeah, because 7-4. So 7-4 in Big East play. I think they're in second place, right behind. They're third, I think. Third behind Villanova. Providence in first. So good win for UConn. What were your thoughts on last night's game?
What was that again? Sorry, it broke up again.
I gotcha. What were your thoughts on last night's game?
I thought for the most part pretty good. Again, there were some times where, especially to be in that second, like the first 10 minutes of the second half, they went 7 points. Again, they kind of fell asleep there offensively. You could kind of see they got tight. But again, the atmosphere was great. Again, that student section was packed. Again, I don't remember XL in a while being it like that. Like maybe the last time was the Memphis game in 2020.
Really?
Like before that, it's been a while since the XL Center was at.
Was it sold out or?
Wasn't sold out, but it was pretty close. It was, again, for a Tuesday night with Marquette, it had to be at least 14,000. Again, like there was people way up there, so you could tell there a ton of tickets sold. Again, like I imagine Nova in 2 weeks would be sold out. But it was a great atmosphere for the XL Center. After kind of last Tuesday's flat after. Again, it was one of those games where it wasn't must win, but it was like we have to stop the bleeding now. Before a 2-game road trip, they did it. Again, Martin played well. Sanago, he played well. He took 21 shots. Again, the passing's still an issue. Again, he gets double, triple teamed at times. It's like you gotta find the open guy that kind of, he hit his free throws though. You gotta get a little bit better of a passer to me. But yeah, I think they're bad. I think he is a bad matchup though for Marquette. Hawkins hit some shots, Polly hit some shots. I did think they played well offensively. They needed an offensive output like they did. Especially Cole was off last night, and again, Gaffney got some boosts. And Hurley. Hurley's intro. Hurley during his intro.
Hurley's in some trouble. Yeah. I think.
It was.
Yeah. What was it? For?
I guess after. What was that?
What was it for? With Hurley?
Well, so I guess last week after the Creighton game, there's some fans heckling up in the second deck, and I guess he kind of went after him, kind of tell him to come down. So, so
during the game
or after the game, he was walking back in the tunnel, and they were kind of saying some foul language to him, and he answered back, which I don't think he should just ignore it and walk away. I know that's not his personality, but I think it was mostly those people, but you could hear some boos up there. You get, so, and then, again, I don't want to go all in on Hurley here, but some of his antics, like, again, he was kissing the crowd after the game. It's like, come on. All right.
Dude, I mean, I like Hurley, but come on. It's a conference, a game. It's a game you should win in conference play in February. We're not talking about an Elite Eight or a Final Four here.
Yeah. It's just, he's just nuts. And again, he goes after the refs too. Because I know they cut out sometimes, but every time they go to a timeout, he goes and sprints after a ref. Like every single time, it's like, dude, coach the team. Don't worry about the play after. I know some of the calls aren't good, but don't worry about them. You can't change them. Go fix your team. It's just some of the again, I don't mind the, again, some of the stuff during the in-game, but going after the refs, after the game, blowing kisses to us, it's like, all right, come on. It's a little much for me. But yeah, again, I know that's his personality. Him and his brother are crazy. I've heard his dad's crazy. But yeah, but he did coach a pretty good game last night for the most part. The last thing on that is it like everybody in the whole world knows it's going to Sanago off a timeout. Like have a couple different options or use them as a decoy or even go to a different guy. Like go to a Polley or Hawkins if they're on. That's the only thing. Like some of the in-game coaching stuff with him. But I didn't think he was awful last night. Didn't think he was great. He was good enough. The team played well enough. So, won't harp on that too much. But, again, it was a game they needed. It was a great atmosphere. Again, it was a game they needed. So it was nice to go head out here before a tough 2-game road trip.
Absolutely. And we'll start with the game on Friday night against Xavier. They go to Xavier. Xavier lost a bad game, though, this weekend to DePaul. And I don't think Xavier's a great team. I think Scruggs is pretty good. I think Fremantle is decent. But I don't see Xavier being a great team. But it is a tough place to play. They're going on the road. And it's a tough stretch. It's a tough stretch, too. I think UConn will split here. I think they'll beat – I'm not sure if they're going to beat Xavier or St. John's, but I think they split here. So what are your thoughts on the game against Xavier? What does UConn got to do to be victorious in Cincinnati? Weird. In Cincinnati, when they're going to be pumped up because of the Super Bowl. In Cincinnati on Friday night.
Yeah, Hurley's big since he's Hurley's a Bengals fan too, right?
I know. Yeah, I know.
He's got to be picking up some Bengals gear, I bet too. So after shooter on Friday or something, or when they get in town Thursday night. But yeah, they lost to a bad DePaul team the other night. It was really weird. He's Coach Steele kind of said it was DePaul kind of bothered him around the rim with their athleticism. Again, UConn's kind of got that. I know Tsunagi's not an athletic kind of type of guy, but again, I think he could. They don't have a big kind of back down center. So again, I think that could kind of be an advantage. Again, you got to hit layups, so you got to finish around the rim. Is part of it because Fremantle's their center. He's 6'9", 220, but he's physical, but he's not like a Sanago big guy type guy. He's more of better than Eric Dixon, who tore something the other night, but kind of a hybrid of kind of those two. But Fremantle kind of missed a lot of preseason camp due to a foot injury, and he didn't come back December. You can see he's starting to get a little bit better of a rhythm, but he's still he's not what he usually is. One of the top players in the Big East. But yeah, Nate Johnson was a great shooter. He was 45% last year from three. He struggled the other day. I think he was foul trouble, missed some shots. Paul Stroh is a very good point guard. He's fifth-year guy. He's solid. Again, he's tough to score against. He's a solid defender as well. Again, it's going to be a grinder. It's going to be a game that's going to be in the low 60s. Again, John Rothstein's his Rothstein, Xavier's hell in a cell. It's going to be tough, physical, low scoring. Cintas Center is a tough place to play. And again, they're at Seton Hall tonight, which again, Seton Hall needs some wins here for their resume. So again, they may not get out there tonight with a win. So they may be coming back home with a 2-game losing streak. I do agree. I think they go 1-1. I think this is the game they lose. And I do think they beat St. John's. But again, St. John's took them to OT at Gamble. So yeah, I do think they go 1-1 here. It's a tough game, 6-game stretch here, but again, 4 of them at home. This is your 2 road games here. You can split out of these 2. I think you're feeling pretty good about yourself as long as you play well. But it's a tough place to play at. Again, it's going to be loud. It's going to be rocking Cintas Center. To be tough, again, they're going to need a Hawkins or a Polley to kind of step up. They're going to need that bench to play well on Friday night.
Yeah, I would normally, if this wasn't a 3-game week, I would think they would lose the Xavier game and beat St. John's, but I could see them beating Xavier and losing to St. John's because they could be totally worn down against St. John's. And looking at the St. John's game, they took them to overtime last time. St. John's played Villanova tough. How does this team contain Champagne? How does this team contain Julian Champagne? Because he had a pretty good game last time, I remember.
Yeah, he did. He hit that contested 3 there with 3 seconds left to give him the lead. Give him the 1-point lead. You got to kind of treat him you got to just deny him the ball, because when he gets the ball again, because he's improved his 3-point shot, and he's a guy that can score at all 3 levels. Like, you just got to deny him the ball. It'll be interesting if they put on, like, Whaley's not athletic enough to guard him, but he's kind of banged up. He didn't play well last night. Again, like, I think Martin's going to be on him. He's got a couple inches there on Martin. Martin's a decent defender. And you got to stay in front of him. You're going to need Sanago. Again, Sanago's a beast last night, 26-18 against him. He's got to be that rim protector down low against him if he does get by a Martin or anybody else to kind of try to disrupt the shot. But, yeah, you got to kind of just got to try to just deny him the ball, and that's tough to do. Now, Pasha Alexander was out with a sprained ankle last night here a couple games ago. I don't know if he's going to play Sunday yet. We'll see. But, like, again, you miss him. But, like, Aaron Wheeler, the Purdue transfer, is averaging, like, 14 points a game in conference. He had 31 last night. Like, he's a guy that's really stepped up, and I think it's taken some pressure off of Champagny and even Alexander when he's played, because those are, like, the 2 guys that you really have to shut down for St. John's. But he's really elevated, and he's kind of taken some heat off of those 2. So he's really stepped up. He's another guy you got to watch out for. But, yeah, Champagny's a tough matchup just because of his size. And he's a forward that's very athletic and can score from all 3 levels. You kind of just have to try to deny him the ball. And you got to make sure when you guard him, you cannot breathe. You're in his face, and, you're trying to play physical with him, trying to make sure that he can't catch the ball.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it should be a good atmosphere at the Garden. I don't know how many on Super Bowl Sunday, how many UConn fans are going to travel to the Garden. I mean, we know the Big East tournament they'll be there, but I don't know how many UConn fans are going to travel to the Garden. I've made up my mind. I think they lose at Xavier, and I think they win against St. John's.
Okay, I can see it. And you did bring up a good point, the 3-game week. And you can see at the end of the games, like, the way he's been using the bench. I thought he did a little bit better job last night. But, again, like, Cole wears down late in games. Martin does. Sanago does. Like, Whaley does. So I can see your point of maybe they do win Friday. And Sunday, Cole's tired still, and Martin and maybe don't get their best outing. So I totally do see your point there. So yeah, I think it's up in the air. Like, I feel a little bit better about St. John's Sunday than I do Xavier on Friday night about winning that game. Sounds like there's going to be a good amount of UConn fans there. I think it is going to be a home game, because I think too, like, without like the Pats, Giants, or Jets, I think you do kind of have that crowd of, where it's like a lot of people around here, probably UConn fans, don't have a rooting interest. So you probably get home right around 6:30, So I do bet there's going to be a good amount of St. John or UConn fans there. Hopefully it's not like a UConn home game. Usually it does. We'll see. I don't know what type of crowd St. John's will have, but again, hopefully they get out there with a win. And Hurley, hopefully, Hurley's praying no bus issues after the game, so he can get back to school.
Oh yeah. He's definitely praying no bus issues, because Hurley, he's going to travel home with the team. He's not going to do this. Oh, I'm going to get a hotel room in New York City and watch the Super Bowl. No, he's going to travel home with the team. Oh, I'm telling you, that press conference is going to be very, very short on Sunday afternoon. And I wouldn't be surprised if he says during his press conference, all right, good win, guys. You guys got to know I got to watch my Bengals. We got to get out of here as quickly as possible. So, and hopefully the St. John's SID lets UConn go first in the press conferences. I hope the St. John's AD is thinking of that. The SID for St. John's is thinking of that.
Yeah, hopefully, we'll see. I don't know how much they take time of that. Hopefully, Hurley's going to be praying. Hurley's going to be bugging him. Yeah, Hurley's going to be bugging the SI there to get him in there first. I don't know what the rule is, if it's visitors or home at first. Or I don't know what the rule is, or if it's win or lose. I don't. But yeah. Again, like he'll be driving the bus home if he has to.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't want to be that bus driver on that bus on Sunday. You don't want to be that bus driver. Hurley's going to be all over you. And I guarantee you, UConn's down by 2 late. He's drawing a play for a 3. He's drawing up a play to win the game. He's not drawing a play to tie it. He's drawing up a play to win the game. If he's drawing up that play to win the game, you're going to know why.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, at the 12:30. He probably get out of there 2:30. He's hoping Fox starts right at 12:30, not 12:40. Right at 12:30. He wants.
No, I think with being the first game, they'll start on time. The second game sometimes there's a little bit of a slide, but first game I think they start on time.
Yeah, hopefully they do. Sometimes they don't, but yeah, hopefully they do, because it's a UConn women are playing afterwards. They're playing Marquette. They're doing a UConn doubleheader.
Oh, is the Marquette game? Is that a home game? Or it's
actually in Marquette. But
oh wow, yeah,
they're in Marquette as well. But special, that's kind of cool. They're doing a UConn doubleheader there.
They've done that a couple times, and I think I think Hurley's happy he's the first game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He wants to get 4:30 be a little bit more shuffles. I heard he was supposed to tape it because he didn't know what time to get back from the DePaul game, and his son forgot to tape it, and he had to just watch the second half. But again, he didn't miss much of the first half of that game. Not miss much.
I know. I think he saw the half he needed to see in that game.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But I can imagine. Did they have plane issues on the way back to DePaul?
I don't know because of the storm. I don't know what time they ended up getting back. I don't know I don't know if I think they got back sometime Sunday. I don't think they came home Saturday night.
So I bet. But the good thing was he was able to see, the second half of that DePaul game. The second half of that Chiefs Bengals game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He did not miss much.
No,
not enjoyed that.
Not at all. So let's go wrap it up here on Sports Talk with R&J. For our producer, Jace Garcia, did a great job. For Justin D'Onofrio, I'm Steve Risser. We'll be back next week recapping the Super Bowl and talking about NBA All-Star Weekend. Have a great weekend, everyone, and enjoy the Super Bowl.
Jones on first down, wide open, it's Barkley. And Saquon Barkley will take it into the end zone.
Your best ability is his availability. Saquon Barkley, he's great when he's on the field, but the problem is since 2018, he hasn't been healthy for this team.
Look at this. They lob it to him. He taps it in off the glass. How about that?
Porter Moser, I think right now is the best coach of college basketball, hands down.
Vince 2 for 3. He's done his part. Pitch is drilled to deep right field toward the pole, and it is gone.
They don't mind not being what they were in the 90s as the best organization in baseball, because the Yankees aren't even close to the best organization in baseball.
You're trying to be the Rays, and the Rays do this for a reason. Like, you're the Yankees.
Hello, my name is Joe Aguirre. I'm the president of Clovercrest Media Group. And here at CMG, we have a wide variety of podcasts, including sports shows like Keys to the City, The Roll Call, Throwing Jabs, All Four Downs, and Jawing About the G-Men. And great true crime shows like Sticky Meat, Crimes and Consequences, Ivy League Murders, and Burn, the unsolved murder of David Eichmann. You can find all these podcasts and so much more by visiting clovercrestmedia.com.